Hello Libras, how are you guys doing today? Happy birthday for some of you Libras if you listen to this in the month of October or the end part of September, whatever your birthday sign falls in September up until the end part of October. But anyway, hope you guys have a lovely, lovely, blessed birthday. Hope you're getting what you want for your birthday, Libras. Okay, Libras. This will be about um love, but it's a love in a different way. You want to know. For some of you Libras, hopefully, for those of you who are married, that is, you may want to know. But if you're married and you feel like your marriage is really good and there's no bad vibe, there's no bad energy, this is really is not for you. You can go into another reading that I have posted down the line because some of those things are really good and nobody has watched those videos. I'm like, gosh, those videos was good. At least for me, they are. And I guess because I'm doing them and it seems like when I do them, it seems like I see it on the news so quickly. But it's like, how can you get there? But anyway, it could be just that they hide what people actually see. Or I don't know what's going on. Anyway, um, Libras, for those of you who are maybe stressed out or wondering, like, he's always with Pam. Why he's always with Pam? What's going on between him and Pam? Well, this video is for you. And for the male Libras, who's what about what's Susan doing? Is Susan really messing with him? You know what I'm saying? I'm not understanding because Susan's always with him. And you may not be talking like that, but I'm just here to kind of give you a little bit entertainment so you can see whether or not it resonates with you or not. So for those of you who are wondering, this is for you. And for those of you who are seeking a place to live, I want to say this every time I load a video if I can remember. So I hope you guys are blessed. I'm praying that you guys are blessed to get a place. If you look for an apartment, whether at home, trying to get a final notice, a final sale on it, or final bid on it. So I'm sorry, I'm just dragging my talking. Got to excuse me because I'm tired still. I did 6 of these readings before, and my gosh, they drain all of the life out of you. My family said, you know what? I don't know if it's just me. She said, but when you're closing your eyes and you're praying, she said, it seems like it takes all of your energy out of you. I said, now you understand what it's like when I'm talking about doing the spiritual work where you go into someone's spirit and you tap in their energy. It tires you out. It's a lot of work. Okay? It don't seem like it is, but it feels like your body ran a marathon. You really, really feel so drained and so exhausted. And all you want to do is sleep, 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 sleep to build yourself back up. I don't know why it drains you like that, but it makes you feel so exhausting. And I was thinking about this guy, and he charged this lady. She said, um, you say it was $36,000. And she said, why did the price go up so high? He said, she said, well, you told me it was only $3,000 for a section. He said, no, I said $3,000 for a lesson. And she was like, a lesson? He said, yeah, every word that come out my mouth is worth $3,000. And I was like, what? He said, don't you know information is power? He said, if I give you all the information that I know and you go off and make billions of dollars off of what I've told you, he said, what have I gained from your success for what I have told you? And that made a whole lot of sense because some things that I'm saying, it's like when I was telling people about being careful about getting on a boat because it could be somebody. If you had to sue those people, they would have lost millions of dollars off of that lawsuit. So when you tell someone to avoid something and they avoid something, or a person who running the operation avoid a mission and make sure everything is right, then you just save yourself millions of dollars. So it does make sense when you tell someone information in this world. That's why when a lot of stuff I see, um, I'm helping giving more information with it because I'm receiving information, and it's like that's why I say with the videos that I give out, they're free, and I feel like because in return, I receive a lot of information that's helpful to me, and it keeps me to say, hey, let me slow down, and that's why I say with the Bible, it's a very big, big, big reward that people don't think that is real. They toss it aside and say, "Oh, it's like it should be worth $1 billion." A Bible, the Bible, really, it should be worth that price, and it's given to us free. But a lot of times people think that it's not worth it. But you can't do spiritual world. You can't do nothing without God because He's the source that keeps you going. And I know that it's hard for people to believe it because believing is seeing. Seeing, if you see it, you believe it, right? If you touch it, it's real. That's what our minds kind of like. It's programmed to think. But Libras, I'm not gonna drag on about other things. I just want to say that because I am a Libra too, and it was just on my mind, and I was so tired today. I'm dragging, and when I'm dragging, I sound like my words sounds like that. Oh, I can't get it out, and then I have to read. So today I'm going to talk about. Once again, I should say, it's the person who you're married to, is the person who they always hanging around, something going on between them. So I'm going to read because this book here relates more to work than it does anything else. And it gives you some juicy drama. And I love this book. I love it. I love it. But anyway, I'm gonna have to get a new one because I don't pretty much dog this thing out. I'll dog it out every time I get it. I'm dogging it out. Okay. But anyway, instead of me bitten through everything like I usually do, like when I see something I flash it and I just bit or what's going on, I'm gonna do a little bit of that too. But as I said before, if you guys do not have any problems in your life, everything is running smooth, Libras, do not go digging because I know us, we would dig, dig, dig for problems, okay? If you don't have any dreams or you don't feel this kind of, regardless if you hear rumors and stuff like that, just pray about it and see whether or not God reveals it to you. But if you feel like you have a real big something's telling you that this person's doing something and something between them two is wrong, then maybe this reading is something that'll help you kind of see what's going on. Because as I did read before, it does kind of like speak about what's going on. Like, say for instance, like you could be having surgery or something, and she could be telling her man, or she'll say not her man. Look at me, already put some mess out there. She could be telling her friend, a coworker, like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed because John has surgery tomorrow and he has this." So therefore, if I read it and it comes out, it's basically her telling him what's going on, or maybe it's a discussion between you two that's what's going on, and maybe she's concerned about it, and maybe the person who she's hanging around will probably question and ask what's going on, and maybe it's yet to be said to that person. Okay, so usually anything that comes up in tarot, I don't know why it seems to be always, I won't say bad, but it seems to be something to be worried about or stressed out. And sometimes it just basically trying to tell you how to avoid the problem or how to solve the problems, right? So let's get on with your readings, Libras. Wait a minute. I need some lights so I can see light up this room. Some of you Libras could be dealing with a Leo, or maybe the person who you're married to could be dealing with a Leo type person. And oh my gosh, if they're dealing with a Leo type person, you already know what that is. That person here is definitely nosy. This person's always in the realm of attention, or it could be that your spouse is a Leo. Okay, Libras, I'm going to start with the females. And this question will be your husband, the person he was hanging around, are they having a affair or not? So let's find out, chat. For some of you Libras dealing with your husband, and a marriage or sweetheart will suddenly appear and a very passionate love affair or romance is in store. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Or maybe a little bit of argument or frustration will be solved, and you will know how much someone has been thinking of you and how much they care. We got straight to the point, didn't we? So it could be a little fun thing, or it could be maybe somebody's having a little 2020 going between them two, maybe them two, somebody. So if it's like she's with that person, not with, it's for the man. Let me get together, labels, okay? So this is the female version first. What is your husband doing? So maybe your husband and his little buddy probably was separated because maybe she went on vacation somewhere. Maybe she had to go outing somewhere. So maybe he was missing her while she was gone. And boom, bam, this is for some Libras, but not for all. I'm choosing for to relate. So this may not be your stag Libra. For some Libras, I'm wondering, okay? So This also could be different jobs that they have. Maybe there's somebody that's in, maybe they are a manager and this person maybe they're assistant manager, so something like that. So it could be something dealing with management that this person works with, or just co-workers. So this is, I don't think it's co-worker. I think this one is more like for people who are managers, something like that, or assistants or something, or maybe, let's move on. Some of your leave was dealing with your husband, a sudden surge in your business or career, and a call from a lover or one you didn't think would call would come as a much welcome surprise. For some you leave deal with your husband, it would be hard for you to really let go and let love, affair, or personal relationship happen. So this is good. For some of you Libras, it could be that this person here is maybe they got divorced or something like that. So maybe they're not able to really get into it with someone else because they feel like I'm still stuck on this other person. For some reason, Libras are still stuck on somebody else because I literally read this like in all of the Libras reading for the past readings that I've been doing for Libras, and I'm like, somebody is stuck on somebody. Well, I know I'm kind of stuck on somebody, so I definitely know that's kind of like my energy. But I don't have anybody, so I think it's mine is more like in memory versus physical. Um, but I don't really get out nowhere for no one to contact me or talk to me because I'm always like, not when I go to the grocery store, I'm just like a zombie, a robot, in and out. So I really don't have time for nobody to say, "Hey, cockle doodle doo, how are you doing?" I'm looking at them like, okay, a fly better have time to touch me, okay? Because that's how fast I move and get in and get out, okay? I don't want nobody in my way to look at me and tell she's rushing. She don't want nobody in her way. Let's her move, okay? She look like she's about to spin a wheel in here and nut up like a gorilla, okay? Anyway, Libras, for some of you guys who deal with a husband, you will be pursuing a spiritual interest or aim. I know, right? Or will entertain a lover or admirer in your home. Oh, for some of you Libras, okay. So that definitely kind of represent me because I am pursuing spiritual interests and stuff like that, a metaphysical career. That's kind of like me, yeah. For some of you Libras. So, like I said before, it could be that your husband is discussing stuff with his partner, or maybe you guys are discussing this. But basically, this is definitely an energy where either you are married to another Libra guy, or maybe the Libra husband is discussing it with his buddy partner. So let's move on. For some of you Libras, we're in. Excuse me. Whew, it's hard to get it out. It don't want to come up. Let me drink something we like. Okay, that was a burp that didn't want to come up. I hate those burps. Those are some. Anyway, for some of you who's dealing with a husband, you will stay at home for the most part. A major move will be put off for the time being, but you will still be thinking about it. Didn't I just say that? I hate this book. I hate it. I just said I'll be home. Oh my god. See, this is why I like reading this book. And I'm not even asking a question about me. I'm asking about all Libras. So let's move on. For some of your Libras, this is definitely something maybe is just talking about what's going on. You are going to be involved with papers, books that teaches, entertain, or fulfill your personal. Wow, look at that. Just hit me again, didn't it? Now I'm talking about what is your husband doing with the other person, right? And it still feel like it's hitting me because I feel like I'm trying to I'm doing journal, like I'm writing everything down. So today I woke up and like I'm gonna write everything down. This is what I'm going to do. So it's like this is what you're doing. You say you're going to do this, and I'm like, yeah. But I also said I wanted to try to do like little short books, but I wasn't for sure of that. But I also feel like I'm teaching, always trying to teach people. When I talk and I give readings, I feel like I want to give people always an example to show them to be a better person. And so that I know teaching is definitely something that I do. So it could be a conversation that your husband see in you, and that he's telling the other person that this is how he see you and how you seem to be to him. Okay. So this is basically the questions that I ask. It's like, what's going on between Libra's husband and the person who he works with so tightly or talk to all the time, and what's going on? And basically, sometimes it's tell the conversation what's being said between them. Okay, so let's move on. For some of you Libras and your hubby, if you're being if you have been off path, you're going to come back stronger. Expect to hear some very good news. Okay, for some of your Libras and your husband, you will no longer accept what was, or you will take a lover, divorce, or end the relationship. So for some of you Libras who are married, you may separate from the person, or it could be that the buddy that you hang with, maybe you just stop talking to the person. So it could be that your hubby don't talk to them anymore, or he could be discussing the fact that you are married and not married. You are typically they are married. You are you and him are not talking anymore, and so maybe you guys are thinking about getting divorced. So maybe she's hearing that conversation for some of your Libras, or not all of your Libras. So it could be talking about what's going on with you guys, and he may be discussing with somebody else. Maybe somebody who he hangs with, and this could be a female that you're like, he's hanging with her all the time. He tells her everything. But sometimes they're just assistants, and sometimes they're family members. You know, sometimes you think family members are messing with family members, and sometimes they are messing with. Because I just really find out about, and I'm like, what? What? I say, do we live in a deep, deep country? Because I thought they don't do that in the woods. But there was nothing but trees and trees. You know, maybe one house right here, another house about 15 minutes away. You know, I was like, I never thought it would happen right here. There's so many options. There's a lot of options. Oh my God, Aries. Anyway, let's move on, okay? For some of your Libras live with their husband, an unexpected stroke of good luck or fortune will cause your spirits to soar up. Oh, that sounds amazing. For some of you Libras live with your husband, happiness will come through just rewards in your career or romantic intrigue and attraction. You know, you attraction. It's not attraction. It's attracting whatever you need in the way of a professional assistance. So therefore, some of you Libras, your husband assistant is actually somebody very professional. They're just not what you think it is. Okay, they are very professional. Okay, it's not like you think it is. See, this is why I love this book. It literally answers your questions. For some of you Libras that are wondering what's going on, what's their emotion state, how they feel, straight to the point. Straight right there. Ain't no dibbity daddy, no going on over here talk about it's a what's a calm. It could mean that they got fire up in the air and it went because when we do it, we be all over the place. And this right here kind of keeps me straight in line and keeps me straight to the point of what I'm trying to say. Say. That's what I'm talking about. Run it up. Okay, for some believers deal with a husband. Oh, maybe I need to read that again so you can understand this. Happiness will come through just rewards in your career. So that means that there are rewards inside your career and you'll be happy for it. Because, hey, who ain't happy when you do some good work and then there's rewards come for it? But that's what I'm saying for me. It's crazy because when I'm doing the readings I have been doing, there's nobody watching them. And I don't expect it to be like 1,000 people, but it's just like, why is everybody missing this juice? It was like, grab that tea, baby. It's really hot, okay? It's really good. It'll get you pregnant. It'll get you pregnant. You will birth something from it. That's what my ego be talking. I'm like, oh, you need to grab that tea. Because it seemed like if it works for me and I just got through telling you like how it's like, I don't want to do no so go home. And then I'm reading this like, ugh. It's like the future all and it goes through and it's tell you what you about to do tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I've been needing this therapy. For me, this book is like a big therapy, okay? I've been needing this, okay? I don't know about nobody else. That's why I be sharing it with you because baby, when you ask them questions and they come through and you be feeling stuck and you don't know where to go, left, right, up, down, middle part, I don't know. They come through, okay? And I tell you, this solved a lot of my non-sleeping moments when I feel like I can't sleep and I'm tossing and turning because something's on my mind. This it's a kicker. It really will solve that problem for me. It goes straight down there to the tunnel, rabbit hole, whatever it is, and stop me from falling down a rabbit hole and just woo, keep me back up to the top up here. You leopard haters. All right, let's move on. For some of you Libras dealing with a husband, you will talk with a relative who is experiencing a great deal of tension or adversity due to his or her work, finance, partner, or lover, a sad development. For some of you Libras dealing with a husband, a relative will come to call, or you will call on him or her, but it will be a short visit, or a choice in affection will have to be put on hold. Could be concerning a lover. For some of you Libras, you kind of like get what I'm saying. Well, basically, what it's saying is that if someone comes to you and want to talk to you about something, you could be um, someone may call or come to you or something like that. It could be someone making like say for instance like my family member calls and they're telling me that they have to go to court and that they have to leave like yesterday, so therefore they can't come to see me. So it's something like that. You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make it sound more make sense because it goes from hee ha, and it sounds like what the heck. Or someone comes by to visit, but they can't stay long. They have to come in and go about the business. But instead of like your homegirl come by and you expect her to talk, but she has something she wants to do, but she comes by and she see you anyway, or maybe you just had a baby Libra and somebody comes by and they see you for a second, but they have to go. They're not staying for very long. Is what it's basically trying to say. So even though I'm reading it, I want to go over it sometimes to help you understand what's going on. Also, it could be that you're in between two people, Libra, and maybe your husband is trying to get you to make a decision instead of versus you trying to make him make a decision between the person. So it could be both things where your husband has to make a decision who he really wants, or he's making you make a decision on who you really wants. Okay, so it's like you two both are in the midst where you both have to make a decision on where your heart stands at, who you want to choose between the both of you. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense because the way I read it, it kind of like it's confusing to me as well. But I also want to sometimes go over and give a better understanding of what exactly is I have read to you. So let's move on, Libra. For some of you deal with a husband, this could be you or he's telling someone else what's going on. So you will be very healthy conscious. So that means you'll be concerned about your health a lot. And you'll probably be cautious of what you eat and stuff like that. Or maybe if you're pregnant, you're probably like, oh, I don't want to eat certain stuff because I don't want to be nauseous, or I can't be wore down because I want to go to sleep. Like for me, I don't want to eat certain foods because I don't want to have to go to sleep because it drags me down. So I want to eat something light or little as I possibly can so I don't go to sleep. I'm not pregnant, but it's just that I'm so subconscious of what I eat sometimes. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have this energy where I'm just binging on food and I'm like, I don't care. I just want some pig feet and neck bones and neck turkey necks and ham hocks. I want it all in a big old fat pot. I just want me a pig pot. I call it a pig pot, and I just want to eat it all together. And so sometimes I don't care. So sometimes we're in this energy where we are nitpicking about certain foods. But I feel like it's certain months. Like when it gets to winter time for me, I'm very picky about food, and then I'm kind of like want to sleep all the time. I want to hibernate like a bear. But when it's summertime, I want me a bunch of crabs. I want me tuna fish, and I want sandwiches all the time when it's summertime. But when it's wintertime, I'm kind of like I want to sleep, 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 but I don't want something to wear me down while I'm sleeping because I tend to hibernate a lot. But anyway, for some of your leaders who are similar to this, it's kind of like maybe you're trying to try new medicine like verbs. Not verbs. It says a new age treatment or methods, vitamins, birth control, or family pets. So therefore, it could mean that something may be going on with your pet. So you may want to make sure you feed them right. So maybe your pets are kind of sick, and maybe you probably have to make sure your pets eat healthy food. So I feel like something may be going on with the pet food. So maybe that's probably why you have to choose food kind of a little bit more healthy, as you see on all the commercials. A lot of people know that certain food that dogs eat is kind of like made with all kind of bullcrap in it, and it's made quick for them. For some people who eat cheap food, so maybe some of the people who you don't care about what you feed your dogs, maybe you need to take the time to be more cautious about what you feed your dogs. And you may say, how does that relate to my husband cheating? Well, it could be the conversation that you and your husband is having with the other person. Okay, so I've already talked about some of you guys are actually having an affair with the person, but it also goes deeper to help you see what's going on between them. Because sometimes when you're nosy, you want to know, what is he telling her? Is he telling her all our business? Is he telling her this? Well, when this pops out for me to read it, then obviously some of this stuff is being said to her because it's a concern for him. Because when you friends with somebody, of course, you want someone else's opinion about how to handle things, or what do I need to know that I need to tell my wife. Because when your husband wife with somebody, you're so busy with the kids, or you're so busy trying to be busy with life, that you sometimes don't pay fine details any mind, because it's like, what's wrong with the dog? Why is he choking like that? And then all of a sudden you next to the next thing, so it's just little things that you feel like you don't really pay attention to, or your husband may catch, and it's like, I tried to tell her this and she didn't want to listen. She's so over the top. I have a family member who's a Libra, and when you try to tell her certain things, it's like she tries to shut you off and say, "Okay, I'm not worried about it. What right now? What I'm worried about is this." You get what I'm saying? So this is why I'm saying certain things that comes out. It's the middle thing, and it's the little thing that we don't pay attention to that comes out. Because, like I told you, usually spiritual cards are basically things that you don't pay attention to that you need to be aware of, or things that are stressing you out that is something that you need to pay attention to. Okay, but I do like this because it gives you the goods and the bads. So let's move on. Libras with a husband. You regret an expense, but it was a wise decision. So this could be something that maybe you spent something on something, and you probably felt like, oh my gosh, I spent too much money on that. But it could have been a wise decision later on, because you might have bought a Louis Vuitton purse that was worth maybe $50,000, but later on you realize the pocket was worth maybe $1 million. So it's about spending something on something, or investing inside something, and you put all your money in, and you realize, oh my gosh, I wasted too much money in this company or something, and then all of a sudden later on you realize that the money was actually worth it. So there could be something between you Libras and your husband that maybe he purchased, so he did behind your back, that you don't know that he did, and this other girl probably influenced him to do so, and she like, this is a good investment. And then at the same time, you may tell him that, why would you do that, that's stupid, da, da, da. But at the same time, it may later on pay out and say, oh my gosh, this was an amazing idea, right? For some of your Libras who's wondering about that. For some of you Libras, in time, what you need will be provided, and confusion or upsetting issues will be straightened out for good of all. Okay. So therefore, for some of you Libras, if you're in a situation with your husband, or your husband dealing with the co-worker or the work buddy or the person we always call on for everything I'll talk to you about all the time. So there could have been some confusion going on. There could have been some issues going on that got upset between us two, but I feel like they're gonna work it out. It's gonna get straightened out. And like I say, it could have been somebody purchased something or invested in something, maybe invest a big large chunk of money. Because I also seen earlier where Libras need to watch their money and make sure you keep account of your money. As I said before, it could have been someone took in some large sum of money and called himself trying to invest in something, and it kind of like took you for a loop. Um, but I feel like in time things will be straightened out, and it will things, the information that you need will be provided. So basically, you probably want to see the papers. Like, show me the goddamn gone papers. I want to see the proof. And the person may not have the papers for you right there and now, and they probably have to wait until everything gets straightened out or come through in order for you to see the results of it. Or maybe someone had to pay child support, and maybe the paperwork had to come through and for offer you to see what's going on. For something, I feel like with Libras, it's something that has to do with time, and maybe it got you upset because you was like, it don't take all that or why da. So you know, eventual things will kind of like work itself out with your Libras and your husband, maybe the buddy. Like I said, it's always some kind of drama going on for if you want to look at information of what's going on, because usually when he's with the other person, is always like they trying to a team together to solve things. Okay, so let's move on. Libra is dealing with your hobby. You will have a run-in with a friend or lover due to a misunderstanding, or imagine a slight overthinking something that wasn't handled or communicated effectively, and a friend will bring a change in social activities and potential romance. As I said before, right? so, so basically, as I said before, just something's going on between your hubby and the other person. It could be that it was something that, as I said before, I'm not gonna repeat that all over again. So that's why I'm reading like, what? I just got this saying there. Now I have to say it again. so, it's hot. First it was kind of chilly here, now it's hot, but I turned the fan off of me so I won't get chilly, and now I'm hot because I'm reading. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it. Anyway, let's move on reading. Maybe it's because I'm trying to get to the middle. I'm trying to get under an hour, and here I'm at 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Anyway, excuse me if I sound ratchet or as I'm talking, because I'm trying to make sure I pronounce the words right because I'm ratchet and I'm tired. And I'm also trying to make sure that I'm not repeating myself. And also I'm trying to make sure it makes sense before I actually speak it. And so therefore I might sound like I'm far away and coming up. So excuse me if I sound a little ratchet. I hope you guys still enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys need a personal reading, a deep down, dark reading, I had a dream, but I don't think I'm supposed to speak on this because it might be private for somebody. But I just don't know why I had that dream. But I guess I had a dream because I was wondering, and I think because my mind went into wonder left, it kind of like asked the question. And I think when it asked that question, it kind of like tried to reveal somebody to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see that for real because I don't want to be in nobody's business like that. Because me, I might get slippery, and like, no, he's doing it. He's da 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 da. It doesn't have nothing to do with Libras, I hope not. But it's just crazy. I had this dream though. It was like over there in what do you call the place? I don't want to say Paris, Italy. Is it France? It looks like it's Italy. I don't know. Wherever it's at, it's like in a foreign country. I don't know. But it's strange. They kicked me out of the restaurant. I know that much. I was sitting up in there chilling too, and it was like, "Ma'am, you have to leave." And the lady kind of like ran behind me, and she got hit with a hit with something. It was like she was chasing me out of the restaurant, and I was like, "Okay, I'll go." But what happened was I came back in the restaurant twice, so that maybe that's why she was trying to make sure I didn't come back in again. And I don't know why I went in there twice, but I did. But something stripped the crap out of her when she hit me, and I tried to run to rescue her, but I was pushed. I woke up from the dream. I don't know, but I guess she was trying to make sure I didn't come back. Usually somebody try to, run you out of someplace and make a noise with you because you ran, because you've gone, and for some reason she come running behind me. You know, you get bigoted and crunk, and oh my gosh, I don't know. And so like something fell out of the sky on them, and I was like, oh my gosh, it scared the crap out of me so bad because it happened so fast until I went to see what happened to her, and I was pulled away or something. I don't know, it's weird. But it still felt so real. Okay. Let's move on, Libras. Let's see what else. Libra is dealing with a husband. You will get together with your family or friends, or they will call on you. For some of you Libras dealing with a husband, believe it or not, a check is in the mail and you will get it sooner than you expected. For some of you Libras dealing with a husband, a crisis will come up with a family member or one you love that will signal a point of no return. Something that makes it very clear that you can no longer coexist or continue the relationship. So some of you Libras, you know for a fact that you're dealing with someone that you can no longer coexist with this person anymore, and it could be that you and your husband are not really trying to get back together, and maybe you have made that found to him, and maybe he has discussed it with his his buddy or something, and he probably has told him that she doesn't want me anymore, she doesn't want to discuss it anymore. So this could be something that lets them know, or it could be vice versa, where he just feel like you guys can't coexist anymore, you can't be together. So you would know from your experience, Leo Libra, whether it's you and your husband or your husband and the person who he's hanging around, because it could be that he's having an affair with that person, and he may feel like we can't no longer coexist, or we can't no longer keep this going on because it's nothing. So you will know if it's you and him or it's just her and him that he just vent this to her. Okay. For some of you Libras and with the husband, you will feel as if the last ray of hope has gone and there's nothing and that's nothing will ever change or get better between. So therefore it could mean that your husband may feel like him, this person who he's hanging around or he's his friend, it may not ever get better because, as I said before, for some of the Libras, the person that your husband is having maybe having an affair with, this person and that person may have broken up and maybe they can't coexist anymore. Maybe they can't really get back together. And maybe something she said, maybe something she did, and he was like, oh, I'm just so done with you. So that's for some of you Libras, and some of you Libras, it's you and your husband, and it's being told to the other person, as I said before. So you can take it how it actually makes sense to you. Let's move on. For some of you Libras dealing with your husband, you can expect a sudden surge in your love life and advance of an intriguing foreigner or someone from a different country, a culture, or background. Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my God, that was spooky. I just said that. Oh my goodness. I just said I had a dream about somebody in a foreign country. Like the girl hit me over the head with somebody. Not she didn't hit me. She ran out of a restaurant. Oh my God, this was so spooky that I had just dreamed this, and it's on my head, in my mind, so heavy, and it's like I'm still asleep, and I'm trying to wake up from it. So why do I dream this? Like, and I just read it in my foreign country. Oh, I need to go back to sleep. I'm so tired. Oh, do it. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It says intriguing foreigner. Intriguing, you know. Intriguing for Nina. For Nina. Ayahaha. What? I'll be here all day looking crazy. That's spooky. Maybe it's because I was drinking because I was about to read it or something. I don't know. Yeah, because I did Virgo. So I woke up to do Libra. And I even know I was going to do Libra today because I was like, I'm not going to do it today. I'll do it when I come back tomorrow. What are the odds? Okay, let's move on, Libras. For some of you guys have the husband. I don't have a husband, but at the same time, it does kind of make sense. It says a surge in your love life. A surge now. So it could be some Libras out there who has a husband, and a lot of people want to talk to you, hey. Or it could be that your husband is a very attractive person. Everybody's like surging, trying to be with him because it was like, oh, you ain't with her now, bye. Ah, what's up? How to do that thing? How that thing do that thing? Because she acting all crazy. Like, she just really want that. Oh, the way she be acting. What to do, what to do. That's why I say never be in public telling about online about how your husband do, or I just love that man. My no bragging because them demons out there, they're demons for real, and they be out there lurking because they're trying to be entertained as well because they jealous. The devil's God said he's a jealous man, so he said I created the devil after my own image. The devil was created too. So the devil had just as much power as God had. So when he had that much power, he jealouser. He does everything a little bit more than what God does. So when you see somebody copying you and they try to do it 10 times better than you, call them the demons. They're the demons because they try to steal everything you have. They're trying to do it 10 times better than what you ever done it before. They demons because God says all things that he made was all good. The devil try to be like, oh, so that's just good. I'll make it greater than. I'll make it better than. I'll make them enticed by what I got. I'll make it come over here and get that. And then I'm going to trick him up and then I'm going to beat him down. And that's how they do you. You know, they just trick you and drag you and smash you and grab you. That's how the devil do. But see, God, he make it just enough within balance and keep you humble so that you can stay alive and so you can live in glory and you can enjoy what you have. But see, when you get too much, it gets sloppy. Okay? You like the planet Jupiter, you explode like gas coming out the butt. Okay, let's move on here. Okay, for some of the Libras, let's see. Dealing with the husband, your success will come through your ability to attract whatever is that you want and need, even if you're not aware of it. That's how it is right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. I know that's right. It's like having a dream about it. Don't know nothing about it. Hey, go Libras, go. Go. I'm sorry, it's about Libras dealing with your husband. So you gotta have a Sagittarius husband, somebody, or Gemini husband. Okay, they making you guys so lucky. Okay, or it just could be just Libras, because we all in the circle together. So let's move on, Libras. They're carrying the weights, carrying the loads, carrying the burdens on your leg, on your back. Not your leg, your back. My neck, my back. Okay, let's see, Libras. What in the dilly why do? Don't do me. You know what? I supposed to spend only 30 minutes, but I want to advance. So this is gonna probably be an hour and 30 minutes. An hour and 20 minutes. It looks like it's gonna be an hour and 20 minutes. Let me see it down and run through this real quick. For some of you, Libras deal with the husband. So I'm just gonna say this for a minute. I'm just gonna run through this. So I'm not gonna be able to vent unless I just don't make sense when I read it. Okay. So for some of you, deal with a husband, you will be in the dark about your love life or wonder what is going on with your lover, or which he or she will contact you or let you know. So if this person has a lover, they're probably in the dark. They probably hadn't seen him in. They probably don't know, like, is they with me now? Or maybe he's just curious and saying that, hey, maybe the lover got stuck in something. Maybe the lover is working too busy, occupied with something. Maybe this person hadn't heard anything from them. For some of you Libras who actually have a husband who's out there probably extra more than what he is working buckets. Okay, for some of you, let's move on. For some of these, you'll be unprepared for added responsibility brought on by another person, words, or deeds. So it could be somebody action or something that did something that make you have to work harder, or maybe you have to do something. So something behind the scenes, somebody doing something, pulling some strings to make you feel like you got to work harder for some of you Libras. Or it could be that your husband um was out there working late nights because of somebody else's mess and causes him to have to work harder or something. Maybe the affair or bad luck caused him to have to get out there and work harder, or vice versa. It could be that the person who he's with is having to do other stuff. Say for instance, like I want to say if you running a underground thing where you have to sell things under the table, and you order things under the table, that means she have to go off and do this job that you don't know what she's doing, and it's because she's trying to get this extra money for your husband so he can have this money so he can get this business started on the road. So maybe he's trying to get something started behind your back and you don't know he's trying to get something started. So maybe they're working hard on something else that you behind your back that you don't know that they're working hard behind. So maybe you guys are lacking money at home, and maybe this person behind the scene is doing this and do that, to try to get the money up. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Just for some of you guys. Anyway. So let's move on. For some of you with the husband, someone will cause you change your plans or move in a new direction, different direction, and adjustment will be difficult. For some of the Libras, you're going to be overworked and overtired, but will complete the projects you set out to do successful. This also will indicate a change of residence if other cars support it. For some of the Libras, you're going to go on a short trip or journey, or will leave your home in order to escape from burdens and responsibilities or problems. A residential move could also be indicated. Paperwork. For some of you Libras, dealing with a husband, you will become overwhelmed with chores, but you will persist and see it through to its completion. If you intend to market a project, legal rights will be considered or discussed. Well, that's just true. I just considered a move, and I have been having a lot of stuff to be doing. And I had a lot of chores and stuff that I was just fussing about a few minutes ago. I was like, let me get in here and finish washing all these clothes. Let me get in here and finish cleaning up this kitchen. And I just got to be negative about that. So that's crazy, but that does happen for me as Libra. But also, if I had a husband and I discussed this with him, he might have discussed it with her, like, oh, she's fussing and complaining because she had to do all the work. She didn't want to, da 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 da. So something like that could have been going on. So, like I said, sometimes I look at this as drama. As always something that somebody else is probably sharing outside, right? So let's move on. For some of you leaders deal with a husband, you will change your routine or wrap up the work you were currently doing in order to do something else along a different line, perhaps another kind of work. That's what I just got to saying. I did my chores, I did my work, I said, let me help get this done, I'll wrap this up, and I'm gonna come in here and finish this up too. That's what I just did today too. What are the odds? So some of your leaders could be wrapping things up and moving on to something else, and maybe your husbands talk about, hey, we're going to wrap this up, or we're going to move on to this, or maybe you're telling your husband on the phone, I'm going to wrap this up and do something, sorry. So there's maybe discussions that's going on between you and your husband and your work person, because as this thing says, it's what's going on between the person who's always in your husband behind, or always in his ear. So of course, if they're always around the house, always around you, then of course they're gonna know things that you're doing among you, right, Libra? So let's move on. For some of you got Libras dealing with a husband, you will hope for a what? Oh, you were hoping for a you know. hmm So some of you guys want your relationship to be reinstated. So And but you feel like you're trying to look up a dead horse. No, Libras, for some of you Libras, you guys were hoping that your relationship between you and your husband will get back together, or maybe your husband and somebody else is hoping that the relationship will get reinstated. But this is talking about somebody who's married, so it could be talking about your marriage, and maybe you discussing with somebody what you hope and wish would happen between you guys. So, like I said before, I feel like some of your Libras, if you cut someone off or you're not together, I feel like some of you guys are painting this picture that you want to really, really be with that person, but you just like, I'm letting you suffer for a minute. I'm letting you see how life is without you. I feel like for some of the Libras to do that. So for me to read this part, I feel like I'm still reading the Libras relationship, even though I'm asking the question, what's going on with her husband? But as I said before, it's still going to relate to the fact that he may be discussing it with somebody else. If you guys are married and still in the same household, or you just telling him this and he go back and tell somebody else that. Anyway, let's move on. For some of you Libras dealing with your hobby, that which one, that's which you once loved will become a burden that will no longer give you satisfaction or joy. So for some of you Libras, you're dealing with an issue where someone doesn't give you joy anymore. Some of you guys are in emotions where you want this person to come back. You're hoping. So as Libras, we have this mind, we up and down scales. Well, some of us is hoping and praying that he come back or she come back, or some of us is hoping and praying that they never ever get around because I'm just tired. All the crap you did to me ain't nothing. I'm so done with you. I'm not satisfied with anything you do. You don't bring me joy at all. And then sometimes we go back into the memory lane and you'll think about all things we experienced and laugh about some things that was happening between us, and all the joy that we experienced in the very beginning, and the joy that we had with kids, and how you hold the kids and how you seem so lovable. Versus some people's like, my husband wasn't there. He wasn't there for the kids. He disappeared. Oh, I lost my husband. You blessed to have a husband. At least he come around see the kids. So there's things that happen in life that makes us feel like, I'm grateful that he's here. I'm grateful that he did do those things that some husbands don't do. I'm happy that we last this long. Some husbands don't last that long in ship. So there's certain things for certain Libras where you look at a scale and say, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. For some of your Libras. So let's move on for some Libras who live with a husband. For some of your Libras, you want a great deal of satisfaction through help. For some of you Libras, a great deal of satisfaction through helping others and completing projects or ventures successful. So in other words, I guess you would get a great satisfaction out of helping people and completing your projects or ventures successful. So basically, what it's saying is, you will probably, if you help people, if you not help people, it'd be more satisfaction. It would feel like it's a blessing coming from you, and then you don't see it as that for some of your Libras, because some of your Libras do see it. Some Libras who actually get it, who are not so mad with the world or not mad with the parents and stuff like that, and you see it for what it is. And when you helping somebody, you don't realize that you're helping other people. That there's a complete satisfaction in that. That's like a huge blessing behind that. And it's saying that completing projects, because you know how they say about Libras, we don't complete projects, we don't like to complete anything. And then when you want to go off and venture something, like if you take an adventure or something like that, it's going to be very successful. So therefore, if you have something that you want to take off and you want to venture and do something, like something like you want to go across the world and do something, like I would say like Carly B, for instance, she wants to go and take a tour next year, and I guess she's hoping for it to be successful. Well, she said she's already pretty much darn near got the concert sold out, so that's a big huge success for her. So therefore, that's something that her husband might be discussing, like, oh wow, she pretty much is up here doing good, she's helping people, she's doing all kind of good stuff, and da 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 da. So this definitely fits somebody like her who actually is a part of the Libra game as well. So that sounds like her versus me, because I'm not really self-forgiving readings, and my readings is not out there for the world to see just yet. So the world can see them if they want to, but it's not like it's a crowd coming. So that's not really aiming to me right now. Maybe the future, hopefully the future, praying the future. We're gonna speak in existing future, but it is what it is, Because right now I feel like I'm still in a little try phrase where I'm just like, I'm not sure I want this to be out there because I don't sound so good. I sound ratchet. I sound like a 2-year-old. I sound like a retarded a little bit. It's like, calm down on yourself. But that's what it sounds like to me. That's how I would judge other people. Okay, back to the record. Excuse me, hat to the record. For some of you Libras, your family members will place a added burden on you, and you will want to do something that involves moving manual labor that will take more energy than you feel like you can muster. Mm-mm-mm. For some of your Libras, you will feel run down or overtired, and it will probably because you're taking on too much responsibility. Say for some of your Libras, deal with a husband. Now, it could be that your husband is taking a lot of responsibility. He could be a Libra too, or it could be that your husband is like, I'm put everything on her. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And you were like not seeing it coming, but at the same time, it just is like speaking on what's going on in the midst of you. Because sometimes you could be dealing with a husband who's ratchet, who's nasty, who really don't want to be with you, and you think that that's not what's going on. Because I feel like this is talk about Libras, and I feel like a family member who's a Libra, she has a lot of responsibilities on her, and I'm like, girl, you crazy? Ain't no in the world I'll take on all this, and it's like he keep pushing and pushing and pushing everything on her. And he's Aquarius, and she's a Libra, and it's like, girl, why everything's in your name? Why everything on you? He's all clear and everything's on you. So I feel like everything's being pushed on her. So when anything falls apart, it'll be like, she did it. It's her fault. So like I say, you gotta be careful is being too nice to people or trying to help somebody, trying to be a ride or die to people, and it's like they don't appreciate you in return. Trust me, I'm gonna eat, and I know how to I didn't do it, so how to do me. I really don't did all this. I'm the oldest, so just imagine being the oldest, and in return, those behind me feel like I ain't do nothing, and I feel like I supposed to keep doing that, like for real, real. Okay, and also it could be some of your Libras who have a new partner, maybe not even married, and a new partner is probably pushing everything on you and making everything for you to work extra harder for the money. This person ain't helping you bringing nothing. So be mindful of that, Libras. Okay? So let's move on. For some of you Libras with a husband, you will be apprehensive about your financial conditions due to a setback, loss of income, or something you counted on falling through. As I said before, Libras and other reasons is like you got to watch your money Be careful about your money because it could be somebody taking money. And I feel like somebody is making you seem like that we like you, we care, we good. And somebody's shining in your face and they acting like they cool, but it could be your husband, this little shady ass woman he with, could be plotting to take your freaking whole lifestyle because she could be a good accountant, or he or she who if they mess with could come around and take all y'all loops, okay? Talk about what the song says. Loop. Dang, that song kind of mean. He ain't got no money, no cash. Take your broke ass home or something. I can't remember that song, but it's something like that. Tell that nigga take his broke ass home, okay? Because the mess around trying to take all your money and your cash. I don't read this like twice, and I'm reading it from a book. So if I'm reading from a book and I did it from just a vent is basically what comes from the spirit, and I call it venting. But this is reading from a book and it says the same thing. Come on, Libras. This is way too many times somebody trying to get you for some money. So I seen old dude on my phone the other day trying to get into my account. I was like, look at you, Leo, trying to take money from me and I ain't got none. This is not another account. I said, look at you. Look at you trying to get in there. Ooh, Libras, watch out for the fire sign. They're trying to go in and try to take your money, Libras. They ain't what you think they is, Libras. I'm trying to say Libras. But hey, be hard-headed and naive as a Pisces. You know how they call some of us Libras Pisces because we can be very naive and gullible because we want to be in a relationship with somebody so bad. And we just want to be able to have our pillow talk with somebody. Bum dead. Not this Libra over here. Fuck that. Anyway, let's move on. For some of you Libras, time will bring a new slant to what seems like an impossible situation. For some of you Libras with a husband, you're going to fall out with a friend or loved one who you feel has let you down, or a friend who has probably who have problems you won't know how to deal with or to correct. For some of you Libras with a husband, you're going to get a call that will entail some work or labor or your parts, something you rather not do. For some of you Libras, you will complete a project involving papers or letters to your satisfaction, or a letter will arrive containing money, honey. It got the money, honey. Okay, for some of you Libras, you will feel that your desires for things you want will go unfulfilled for a long time, and that the work you must do in order to put things together or to complete them and will take forever. That's so true. How did you know that? But anyway, this is talking about with your husband. Maybe you tell your husband this, and maybe he's telling the other girl, like, this is what she feeling like. She feel like everything is never going to happen or whatever or not. I don't know, for some of you. Physical problems and constriction blinds are going to come to an end. So for some of you with a husband, that means that if you can't see what's going on between your husband and his so-called buddy, he always talking to, the blindness that you feel, or the restriction, or the problems that you may feel like them two are going through, and he's acting like he don't want to talk about the problems, you're gonna probably come through and see about it. Like, oh, so this is what's going on. You think I was fooled? You guys is plotting trying to take my money from me? You trying to take my money from me? You think somebody don't know about what's going on? She was having problems with the calculation because she couldn't get into my account. That's what she was having problems with. That's the problem she was dealing with. She had to go and find another buddy that knew how to get into the account so she could take my money from me. Are you serious? This is never ever in life gonna ever happen. That's Claire Hustle, kind of, but not as professional as she was. She was really good with it. Yeah, there we go. That's a good time today. I remember it. Let's move on. No, hold on. I'm gonna get this before I go on. Move on. For some of you to do with a husband, you will have a lot of work to get accomplished because of a new way of life is emerging, both personal and professional. And you will have to complete the old one and embark into a new stimulator. The stimulator. It's going for the stimulator. I'm sorry. Anyway, sometimes it's like, sometimes it's like, that's how you. Anyway, um, for some of you Libras live with a husband, you will get an unexpected career opportunity. For some of you Libras live with a husband, your success will come. Your success will be the result of patience, diligence, and through research instead of blindly rushing ahead. and your ability to apply yourself to a goal until it's completed to your satisfaction. So that means you have to be more patient and more focused and put in the details and make sure the work is good than rushing blindly to something and it come out you like yabba dabba do. Well, that's what I've been doing for a couple videos. As you can see, when I've been reading, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to hurry up and speed through this and read through it, get it very faster because I'm trying to get in here and get it done. Excuse me. But see, I move fast in this because if I don't, I will just be distracted and go do 2,000 other things and then actually stay focused on what I'm doing. So now I'm doing this. I'm trying to keep it going because when I give up, I just get way back there and comfortable and say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I don't. So that's why I'm keep pushing myself forward with this. Even though I feel like that's nothing. Oh my gosh, we're not going to see results, And I'm not really rushing the results because deep down in my spirit, I'm not ready for the one to see it because I actually rushed through this, and I'm actually not. I don't have a microphone, and so therefore I feel like my voice is not clear, and I feel like I'm not talking very clear. I'm not taking my time talking because I feel like I sound like I'm in a slow class, and I'm like I can't get the word in out, and I said the word strawberry like that, and it's supposed to be strawberry. Okay, take your time and say the word correctly. When it's supposed to be blueberry, and I said blueberry, and it's supposed to be blueberries. You get what I'm saying? So it's my words are not professional. Like I can make them professional, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like talking. I really don't. So I do get this why it seems like it's more like talking to me, but it also if you have a husband, these are conversations that may be apt talk to the buddy because when you have someone who's you know who has the other side of your husband's or girlfriend or wife's ear, they have a tendency to say these things to them that what's going on between you and him or what's going on between her and the husband, vice versa. So let's move on, Libras, to the next one because we have two more to go and I hadn't even gotten down to it. So I'm gonna try to speed through this as I got through saying I don't need to do, so I'm gonna do it anyway, right? Isn't it odd? It's like don't rush, and I'm gonna rush through it anyway. Just ratchet for no reason. I guess I have a right to because I was born to be ratchet. It's no other way to do it but to be ratchet. Oh my gosh. What in the tongue twisted tie going on here? Oh my Saturita. Okay, that's a little bit better. Because I was about to say, I need to buy one today. Oh my gosh. Let me call Amazon. No, it's not from Amazon. It came from eBay. eBay need to come through right now. Because this is all tongue twisted in the game. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah, I definitely need another one. Because this is all the way back here. Holding me up. For some of you Libras, let's move on. Dealing with the husband. Dwelling on the past may cause pain, so you release it and let it go. This could concern someone who's in a legal or law enforcement profession. 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 So this is someone dealing with the law or governor or whatnot. So this could be somebody, you could be romantic with someone with Libras, or it could be that you are in the law and maybe your husband is talking about what are you doing. She's always talking about the past. She won't let it go. Let it go, let it go. She's always stuck on, I remember when James crossed the street and I remember, oh my God, I didn't mean to do it, I didn't mean to do it. But it was just right there in a blind spot. I didn't mean to, oh my gosh. So it's always, maybe some of your Libras, your husband's always like, she just won't let it go. No matter how much I try to talk to her about how much she take therapy, she just won't let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it fly, let it fly. For some of your Libras, there's something that you're dealing with or maybe traumatizing to you for some of your Libras, and it's like maybe you had to deal with a lawyer, maybe you had to get a lawyer for the case, or maybe you guys had to fight for a battle scene or something, and maybe it's causing you a bunch of pain and suffering. You have to go through whatever you're going through for some of your Libras, or you deal with a husband where you feel like there's a lot of pain and suffering. You have to get a lawyer because you don't want to get divorced. Something that's going on, Libras, that you may feel like it's about a battle that's stressing you out for some of the Libras. For some other Libras, let's move on with what are you going through with your husband? Or yeah, maybe your husband, his buddy, what are they going through? What's going on between them two? You will make a new friend or mend a relationship with an old friend and set things straight in your mind or affairs. A call from someone in a uniform could also be indicated. So some of you guys may have a friend, husband who has a best friend who wears a uniform. So maybe he talks to her and maybe, they kick a little something, something. For some of you Libras, you be like, oh, so that's who he's talking to? I didn't think he was really talking to her like that, but that's who he's really, 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 really interested in. But anyway, let's move on. For some of you Libras dealing with the husband, you will think about moving or living with someone in order to save money or cut down expenses, and will wish something will come along and save your worries. For some of you Libras, you should use caution when traveling, slow down around curves, and watch your rear in upcoming trip or journeys, and be prepared for unforeseen obstacles like a roadblock or reroute of traffic. So some of you guys could be running into where they're working on the streets, working on the roads, where you may have to reroute the traffic, or maybe the cops think that you have something in there, and maybe that's probably why they open that road up, because they think they're slick. I know they're doing something over there, so we're gonna just block that off, okay? So there's something dealing with the road is blocked for something that you may need, or something you may find like important to you or useful, and they might feel like, hey, we're gonna use this as a stone block just to make sure they don't get where they need to get down, okay? Because some people may be overthinking, because with the energy of Aquarius ruling the law enforcement, a law enforcement is really trying to get their money up, and they're probably overthinking some things that some people that are actually trying to do the right thing in life, or what they possibly doing right, and sometimes they're in the wrong direction, and the people who they should be getting, they don't get. When I tell you these movies that come out on Netflix have been so good that you're looking at life now in a whole different scenario of how people try to judge the small people, because it's like these big fishes out here with bees and trees are doing all this, and y'all here watching us, which has been saying is going on, and but that's a long story. I'm going to talk about Libras and what's going on with your husband. But like I said, it could be some things that's going on, and I just heard from his go too, right? Anyway, for some of you Libras, deal with the husband, you will be concerned about a delay of financial matter or a legal deal, or will worry that the status or credibility of another. This could also indicate a legal paper signed. So someone is dealing with a legal paper, and you're probably worried about what's going on with this. So for us, that's definitely a major thing that's going on with us, right? But a part of me is like, you ever see the movie called Columbia? And she tells the guy, he says, "No, you right where I want you to eat." And the two pit bulls just eat him up. Well, that's what I feel like now. So I'm like, we got two pit bulls, and you have no clue they're gonna eat you up. So go right ahead and get the paper signed. Do what you gotta do, okay? And them pit bulls gonna eat you up. I love when people are so blind and naive and thinking that that's not gonna happen. That's not how the world goes. As you can see, if you listen to this video right here, everything I've been saying, and I turn around and read it all in books. How is that even possible? If I'm lying. Anyway, let's move on. Libras, and what your husband is doing. You be very apprehensive. You'll be very apprehensive. I can't even say the word. Anyway, about your work and your future could be because you have lost your faith or sense of purpose. But you will keep the faith and hope that somehow, somewhere, things will change for you. Hopefully. I want to say the words apprehensive. I said it there. They go to work. But I can't say it all the time for some reason. So excuse me for having bad English sometimes. But the words is right on the tip of my tongue, and sometimes I'm like, I'm in another word, I can't say it. What do I need to do? But it's called moving your head around. You see how some people, when they have this hold their voices back like this, and they can sing real good, or they turn their heads when they're singing and their voices sound real good. So I think that's what happens with sometimes with certain words I say when I'm holding my head down like this or trying to read, versus me holding my head up like this and saying, and my tongue palate is able to speak the word more clear. So I think that's what happens. Is sometimes I have to elevate my head and I had to say certain words. So excuse me if I sound like I'm retarded. Because guess what? I'm black with a big tongue. So can't help it. Some words are not made from ink to say it, okay? Let's move on. For some of you Libras deal with a husband, you come to realize that you've been living the dream world when it comes down to the relationship, or you reunited with someone. So it's like, I'm never gonna see him. I'm never gonna be with her. For some of you, leaves your husband maybe thinking like, hey, me and this girl get together, and all of a sudden he discovered that she has a fiance, somebody he finna get married. So he be like, I know you lying. You finna marry this police officer? I thought it was me and you. I thought you left me. We've been working together. We've been hand in hand. We've been doing everything together. We've been going out to brunch. We've been just having a good time. And now you telling me that you wanna marry him? I thought you was going for me to get divorced from my wife. And she was like, uh, we all friends. I didn't know that you were planning on getting divorced. And see, you was all in your head. You know how men have this little fantasy going on, and this little whole relationship built up in their head, and you were even invited to the party, and he never spoke about it, but he just kind of felt like you felt his vibe, and you felt his psychiness, and he knew that you knew what he knew, and he wasn't sure that you did not know, but he felt like you knew what he knew, and you was like, no. That's probably why I married John, because John actually spoke the words and actually told me and actually took me out to dinner, and you may be like, your husband may be Bill and be like, no, but I took you on dates too. I took it everywhere I went. We went this place, went that place. We went to the Mars. We went to Mars together, baby. Mars. Anybody never been to Mars before? We went to the moon, baby. Ain't nobody never been to the moon but me and you. I took you. I ain't taking my wife. I took you to the moon with me and to Mars. And you act like you don't know what something deep between us. You don't realize I was pulling you with everything that I was going through, everything I was talking about. I was going through my wife. I'm crying on your shoulder, telling you everything, and that ain't meant nothing to you. Not nothing. That ain't let you know that I was feeling some kind of way about you. You were like a sister to me. Then why should we sleep together? We like sisters and brothers. Does that even make sense? You want to sleep with your sister now? So you're trying to save you? No, I'm just trying to compare you. Tell you how much I love you like that, man. No, but sister? Now I really can't see nothing going on between us. You know? So I'm just trying to help you understand how some men don't quite understand that just because you type with somebody and you do all this stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody actually is reading your mind, because you may not actually be their tune, you may not actually be their vibe, you may not actually be their twin flame, you may not actually be their soulmate. So it could be just somebody who you just actually in their friend zone, like you are in their friend zone, and they actually found their twin flame or their soulmate in the midst of them hanging around you. So I feel like some men go through that emotion where they're actually like blinded by, and the truth. This is definitely the big truth card here. This is something for a long time. You've been with somebody for a long time, hanging with that person for a long time, and then all of a sudden the truth come out that you finna marry somebody else. Truth, you finna live a long time with somebody else than me. Truth be told, yeah. I'm gonna move on, and yeah, you gotta go and come to your wife and try to figure out, well, how can I start a new story with you? What are we supposed to do together? Because I ignored you all these years. I didn't pay you no mind, so what kind of story should we create together? Do we even have a story? Can I be like begin to start something? Because I've been so cold hearted and so lifeless with you until I don't know how to find a jug of water. I'm gonna put some sugar in it. Put some sugar in it. If I get you a jug of water, put some sugar in it. They always say sugar bring anything but light, anything sweet with liven up taste buds. So maybe you get your jug of water, put some sugar, and liven up that relationship you're in. Impress God again instead of pressing the devil. Because when you're cheating on your wife or cheating on your husband, you impressing Satan himself, and he's sitting there like, another one bought this, hey, and another one, and another one, and another one bought this, hey, hey, doom, doom, doom. Another one bought this, hey, hey, doom, doom, doom. And another one bought this, hey, hey, another one, and another one, and another one, another one, another one. So stop impressing him. That's what you need to do, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be what? It's gonna be lit, lit, lit. Yeah, not like them little parties you go into, not like them little freak shows you have, not like that set off you have. It's gonna be lit for real, okay? And not like it comes in the 2 months of the year and that sun be out there beaming. That sun ain't gonna have nothing on that. So be mindful of this energy. Like I said, it's like somebody disappointed. Somebody disappointed in what they thought was gonna be and was not. Be upset. Upset. Somebody is gonna be upset by the message or communication breakdown will make you feel challenged, blocked, and thought. What I say, I just got through saying it. Your hubby is gonna feel like he's been blocked. After she tell him how she feels, she be like, no. Or it's gonna be you and your husband. You're gonna feel like he's been blocked after you tell him to something. So he might be telling her, she don't block me, she don't want to talk to me, da 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 da. For some of you Libras, you know what this relationship going through. You know what's in you and your husband environment. You already know this. I ain't gotta say it twice. Let's move on. For some of you Libras dealing with a husband, you're going to have a discussion about travel plans, relationships, and finance with your friends and family. Friction is also indicated, so don't expect much help. So therefore, there's gonna be a discussion about money that's gonna piss you off. There's gonna be a discussion about um, hey, as I said before, can I repeat it again, over and over again? Can't get no better. What? As I said before, let's move on. For some of your Libras, you or someone you know may need. Hello, Libras. This has been your part. Or should I say this is the rest of the part A? What I was trying to say, the treatments that you need was herbal and something for anti-inflammation, like something comes up, like you have an inflaming or something. So it could be an itch or rash that's coming up that you need. And because I had a sinus problem and I thought I paused it, so I deleted the part and it sounded like I was a monster. I don't want to scare you guys like, oh, what the heck? She could have did that all. So that's what I did. I clipped it, and once I clipped it, it kind of like made me go into Alice in the Wonderland. So therefore, that's why you guys have part A and part B. And part B is like almost 2 hours long. So therefore, I had to make another whole video for that because I didn't intend to go that long. But because I'm spinning and talk about other things, it ended up being pretty long, just like this. And this is an hour and something. So the other one's like almost an hour and a half or so, maybe more. So Libras, hope you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Even though some of my words sound like I'm dragging, it's because I'm tired because I did 6 videos before that, and then plus I got things to have to do, and I'm up like a whole day, and it just sounds like I'm dragging. So excuse me, my words is not very clear, and it sounds like I'm just foaming the ball with my tongue and stuff like that. And I'm also because I'm, and my tongue gets made big, and some words is just like, I know what it means and I know how to say it, but sometimes I'm just too tired to just take my time and say, well, this word means perspective, versus me just like, I know what it means, but it's like I'm too tired to do all that, okay? So Libra, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also share. This is very important. I see that some of you guys may be watching it, and maybe 1 or 2 people are doing it, so, but make sure y'all like so that I know that you're participating, so that YouTube knows that you're participating. Also share. Also, hey, like I said, money. It's a high value for information, but at the same time, I shall say information is a high value. But at the same time, if it help you, like if I'm helping you any or bringing awareness to you, also like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you do not want to purchase a personal reading, then you can also help the channel out by liking, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's very important. And you may say, why is it so important? It's important to you. It's creating good karma coming your way. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to this clip so I don't drag on, because me, I'll keep on having something else to say. So if you want a personal reading, you can email me. Don't be afraid. But if you are super afraid, then you can go ahead and just keep watching the videos as I post them when time is available. I shall say when the internet is running super good and it's like, whoo, everything is flowing up. So see you in the next clip, which is part B of Libras. Okay, happy birthday, Libras. Hope you guys enjoy your time. You should say your month, brother, and your time. Be a blessing, not a curse, Libra, okay?